The Grand Council chamber of Zentara Prime hummed with the collective consciousness of 1,000 species, their bioluminescent forms casting prismatic shadows across the crystalline walls. For 3 millennia, they had governed the known galaxy, their wisdom carved into the very foundations of interstellar law. Yet today their meeting centered on what they considered the greatest hoax in galactic history: humanity. Another claim, Council Speaker Vexus Thor announced, his gravitational field pulsing with barely concealed amusement. 2 more primitives insist they are descendants of the mythical humans. Laughter rippled through the chamber, a discordant symphony of clicks, whistles, and telepathic mockery. The myth of humans had become a running joke among the civilized species. Supposedly, they were a precursor race of unparalleled ingenuity, warriors and poets, scientists and dreamers who had seeded the galaxy with their genetic legacy before vanishing without a trace. Every few cycles, someone would emerge claiming human ancestry, seeking status or resources. Every time they were proven frauds. Elizabeth stood in the accused circle, her heart hammering against her ribs. Beside her, Noah remained still, though she could see the muscle twitching in his jaw. They had traveled 6 months through fold space to reach this moment, carrying nothing but a set of coordinates passed down through 20 generations, and a story that no one believed. Let them present their evidence, Councillor Threshna said, her serpentine body coiling with condescension. It will be as amusing as the last pretenders. Noah stepped forward, his voice steady despite the overwhelming hostility. We don't ask you to believe our words. We ask only that you honor your own laws. Section 47 of the Galactic Heritage Act states that any individual claiming lineage to a recognized species has the right to genetic verification at a registered historical site. Humans are not a recognized species, Vex Thor interjected. They are mythology, fantasy, children's tales told to explain the unexplained ruins scattered across colony worlds. Then let the ruins speak, Elizabeth said quietly, surprised by the strength in her own voice. There is a vault on Kepler 442b. Take us there. If we're frauds, you'll expose us before the entire galaxy. If we're not... She let the sentence hang. The chamber fell silent. The vault of Kepler 442b was indeed real, one of dozens of mysterious structures that predated the Council itself. No species had ever successfully entered one. They simply stood inert and impenetrable, monuments to a civilization that logic insisted could not have existed. Very well, Vexithor decided, his tone dripping with the confidence of one who had never been wrong. Let us end this charade once and for all. The vault rose from Kepler 442b's crimson plains like a shard of captured starlight. Its surface was smooth, reflective, and utterly featureless, no doors, no windows, no seams. Elizabeth had seen it in dreams her entire life, passed down through genetic memory or ancestral obsession, she couldn't say which. 50 council representatives had accompanied them, along with a fleet of recording drones. This would be broadcast across 10,000 worlds, the final debunking of the human myth. Approach, Vexthor commanded. Touch it. Wave at it, pray to it. It will do precisely what it has done for every species who has tried. Nothing. Elizabeth glanced at Noah. In his eyes she saw the same terror and hope that churned in her stomach. Their entire lives had led to this moment. Generations of their families had preserved fragments of knowledge, whispered stories, DNA samples carefully protected from contamination. If they were wrong, they weren't just frauds. They were the end of a lineage that had believed in itself for centuries. She stepped forward. The moment her boot touched the platform surrounding the vault, something changed. It was subtle at first, a vibration in the air, a frequency just below hearing. The council representatives shifted nervously, their various sensory organs detecting the anomaly. Elizabeth continued walking until she stood directly before the vault's surface. She could see her reflection in it, dark skin, coiled black hair, eyes that supposedly carried the genetic marker of a species that never existed. Behind her reflection, Noah's lighter complexion and sharp features created a contrast that their ancestors would have called the beautiful diversity of humanity. She raised her hand and pressed it against the surface. Nothing happened. Triumph blazed across Vexthor's features. You see? Elizabeth blinked. It was involuntary, automatic, the simple biological response of eyes moistening themselves. But in that fraction of a second when her eyelids closed and opened, Something scanned her. Not her hand against the surface, that had been theater, instinct, the human need to touch and connect. The vault had been waiting for something far more sophisticated. It had been waiting for DNA. Specifically, it had been waiting for the 47-chromosome human genome, carried in every cell of her body, coded in her tear ducts, her epithelial cells, the microscopic flakes of skin that fell from her eyelashes. The vault erupted with light, not merely illumination, but recognition. Patterns cascaded across its surface, mathematical formulas, star charts, biological schematics, and languages. Hundreds of languages, including several the Council had classified as ancient and untranslatable. The structure began to shift, its solid surface becoming fluid, reforming into an entrance that gaped like a welcoming mouth. From within came a voice, synthesized but unmistakably warm. Welcome home. Children of Earth. Authorization. Homo sapiens genetic markers confirmed. Elizabeth Chen, Noah Williams, you are the first of your kind to return in 3,217 standard cycles. The council chamber, broadcast across the galaxy, fell into absolute silence. Elizabeth felt tears streaming down her face, not just emotion, but vindication for every ancestor who had been called a liar, every generation that had preserved impossible stories. Beside her, Noah was openly weeping. Updating galactic records, the vault continued, its voice now broadcasting on all frequencies. Species humanity. Status active. Origin Sol system, planet Earth, coordinates locked. Legacy sites. 15,412 locations across 73 galaxies. Warning to all species. Human historical sites are now under heritage protection. Primary message from the founders begins. The holographic image that materialized was stunning. A woman and a man, clearly human, their features representing a blend of Earth's ethnicities that had existed before the long journey began. If you're hearing this, the woman said, then our children have found their way home. We scattered our descendants among the stars not as conquerors but as seeds. We knew the galaxy would forget us. We designed it that way. But we also knew that humanity's greatest strength was never our technology. It was our persistence. Our refusal to give up. Our ability to hold on to hope even when the universe called us liars, the man continued. To the Galactic Council, humanity requests re-entry into civilized space. Not as myths, not as ghosts, but as what we have always been. Explorers, dreamers, survivors. We have been here all along, hidden among you, scattered across your worlds, waiting for the right moment to wake up. The hologram faded, but the vault remained open, its interior revealing technology that made the Council's most advanced systems look primitive. Vexus Thor's gravitational field collapsed in shock. Around him, representatives of 1,000 species recalibrated their entire understanding of galactic history. Elizabeth turned to face them, her voice carrying across the broadcast to billions of viewers. My name is Elizabeth Chen, this is Noah Williams. We are human. We have always been human, and we're not alone. There are millions of us, scattered across your worlds waiting for this moment, she smiled. And in that expression was the indomitable spirit of a species that had survived its own apocalypse, crossed the galaxy in generation ships, dispersed its children among alien civilizations, and never, not once in 3,000 years, stopped believing in itself. The Council mocked. She said softly, but humans never stopped existing. We just learned patience. Behind her, the vault began transmitting coordinates, thousands of them, marking every location where human descendants had taken root. Unknowing sleeper agents of a legacy that refused to die. Humanity had returned and the galaxy would never be the same.